Before the sun rises, Constantinople still breathes as the empire's final guardian. Trade still flows through the empire's heart, unaware of how little time remains. The city awakens, layered with centuries of power, faith, and fragile peace. Luxury and labor walk side by side beneath shadows that grow closer each day. Where continents meet, Constantinople trades the wealth of the known world. Flavors of distant empires pass through hands that never leave these streets. Gold secures alliances, ink seals destinies beyond these walls. Life pulses through every stone, while unseen forces gather beyond the horizon. For nearly 1,000 years, this dome has held the empire's prayers. Inside these walls, heaven and empire meet in fragile harmony. Tradition continues, even as cracks quietly spread through history's foundation. Above them all, eternity watches as storm shadows begin to gather. Within these walls, power still shines with ancient brilliance. Luxury endures, even as the empire's strength quietly fades. Behind golden halls, decisions are made that will shape eternity. Beneath celebration, survival is quietly being measured and stored. Below the sacred city, hidden arteries carry the empire's lifeblood. Water preserved through centuries now guards the city's final endurance. In silence, the city prepares to feed hope through darkness. Steel waits patiently, knowing soon it will decide the fate of empires. These walls have repelled empires for 1,000 years. But time has changed the battlefield. Preparation replaces ceremony, as survival becomes the empire's final command. Beyond sight, an army gathers beneath the fading sky. The signal fires awaken, and the last defense of an empire prepares to stand. Within the walls, ordinary lives prepare for extraordinary fear. Faith, craft, and survival blend as every hand works against time. The city fortifies not only stone, but hearts uncertain of tomorrow. Night falls over Constantinople. As the empire waits beneath gathering thunder. While the land prepares for siege, the sea remains a silent battlefield. The empire's fleet waits, ready to hold the final gateway. A single barrier guards the harbor, forged to stop empires. Beyond the darkness, a new empire sails closer with every wave. Beyond the walls, a rising empire gathers its final strength. Precision replaces fear as soldiers prepare to rewrite history. New weapons rise, built to challenge walls once thought eternal. Plans are drawn in silence as destiny sharpens its blade. The light reveals the empire's heart, and the shadows of war now fall across it. Behind these walls, they stand ready, yet beyond them, the tide of fate rises. Under the weight of iron, the moment of reckoning approaches. The city stands, bracing against the tide, as both empires prepare for the dawn of conflict.
Load the cannons! Aim for the
The first blow is struck, and the walls tremble beneath it. Onward they march, as the walls begin to bleed beneath their assault. Each strike is a whisper in the storm, but every whisper counts. The city's defenders face the wave, but the tide is heavy with steel. The walls that held for centuries now crumble as the storm rages. One man's courage is but a flicker against the storm of 1,000 blades. Escape becomes survival, and survival is slipping from their grasp. As the final defenses fall, the empire's last breath echoes in the wind. The city of emperors now lays broken beneath the weight of history. In the silence of faith, the empire's last prayer is whispered. Once the cradle of empires.
We're cut off! Fall back!
Now, a monument to conquest.
Hold the line! Don't let them through!
The last of Constantinople's light fades as the world shifts beneath the waves of change. Where faith once thrived in one form, it now lives anew, transformed by conquest. Out of devastation, a new city rises as an empire finds its new heart. Trade and culture flow through these waters again, where east meets west. The heart of two worlds now beats as one, as the legacy of the past is reimagined.
Yeni devletimiz yeni usulunçun, yeni vatal. Her benkri, her tepyo, her shigayer. O Osmanlı imperatoru mandu.
Constantinople falls, but in its ashes, a new empire rises.